I feel a little stupid for coming out here. For today is to basically drive north and just get back to town, and then yeah, fill propane and hunker down because it's going to get cold for the next few days. It's supposed to be in the -40s for the next, I think, 4 days. So yeah, I'm a little worried, but not too worried. The camper should hold up to that. It's going to be a little rough, but should be okay. All right, I'm just going to head outside and start the engine preheater, and then we'll wait for the truck to warm up, and then we'll get going. Update, the temperatures were getting way too low in the camper, so I've decided to winterize it. And when I went to go dump the water, the little line that goes out and out of there, it ended up being frozen on the outside, so I had to take my little hair dryer and just unthaw it. But yeah, it worked out all right. I already got some antifreeze in here, but I need to go throw some more in. Winterizing is pretty easy in this thing. All you do is stick this hose that I have in there, flip a switch, and then put it into the RV antifreeze. And then what you do is turn on your pump. So yeah, it just pressurizes it into this line here. And then what you do is you just go around and open the faucets and let the paint come out. That way, hopefully I don't have any issues. I'm gonna risk it and not do the outdoor shower, but I don't think I'll be able to hook that up. Well, maybe I could. I'll see what happens. Current temperature right now, 23 in here, -24 outside. All right, guys, we are back on the road. I always do this, but I have to check if my door's actually locked, or else it'll open. Just to let you know, it was locked. Definitely. Okay. Back on the road. She is -24. I just left the truck running the entire time doing that. Just so it could actually warm up in here. It actually is so cold that, like, while I'm driving, I can feel the air coming in from the bottom, because let's face it, this truck isn't sealed that well, and when you're driving down the road, your feet get a little cold. So yeah, now it's nice and toasty in here. She was high idling. We are good to go. really cold out. Like, wow. I'm glad I winterized everything, because there's no way I could drive down the road with it this windy and just everything. Like my one sensor there, it's at -7 degrees Celsius. And yeah, glad I dumped last night. I'm glad I winterized now and got the water heater empty, because yeah, everything would have froze up. I'm freezing up. Inside the truck, there's so many drafts coming in from the wind. Just it's like there's a 22 mile per hour wind going on right now. And yeah, it's pretty freaking cold in the truck. A lot of drafts coming in. I can keep the heat on, and that's keeping me up top warm, but my feet are like absolutely just frozen. I'm actually going to throw my merino wool socks on and yeah, just drive the rest of the way like that. I'm just in High River right now, got some fuel, and now I'm going to head her back, and hopefully the wind calms down and things can be a lot easier. Camper is still plus 21 in here though, so that's pretty awesome. Honestly, so cold, I'm kind of scared to shut my truck off, but I'm gonna have to eventually. And there it is. My first night of -30. Let's try this out. Well, there's a lot of creeks, but it's warm in here. So I'll show you what the temperature is in here and what the temperature is outside. So it's -32 outside and plus 20 inside. Let's all remember that this is a 25-year-old camper. Now, that being said, I do think that the furnace is probably going to run most of the night. Batteries are at 87%, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so should be really interesting tomorrow. I'm really hoping the engine preheater works well. If not, that's gonna really suck. I might test it out tonight. I don't know yet. We'll see. I think it's gonna be a cozy night, actually. I'm just getting dressed up right now. I'm gonna run outside and actually start the generator. It seems like it's actually is getting warmer and warmer in here, so that's a really good thing. That means the furnace can keep up, so I'm gonna start the generator so I don't burn through my batteries too quickly, and I won't have enough for the weekend. So yeah, I'll just hop out there, start it. I don't know if I'm gonna record it. It's really cold, so I'm gonna try to just do this as quick as possible. Oh, it doesn't look so bad on camera. Yeah, my little finger is like dead. Yeah, so the generator's not going to work tonight. It's too cold for it. It runs, but it does not sound good, and I don't think it's gonna get much better. So unless I absolutely need it later, but I guess then I'll try it again. But as of right now, I'll just go off the batteries, and that should be enough. Morning, everyone. That was interesting. The furnace didn't turn off even once. Used a lot of battery. I'm down to 68% now. And yeah, it's currently minus 36 on here. It's definitely chilly out today. I think the preheater's working. I'm just about to look at that right now. So this has got serious. The engine preheater failed the first try. It says the engine's at 46 degrees, or the coolant's at 46 degrees Celsius, but I really doubt that. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, it failed again. I guess this is what I get for buying a Chinese one, right? So I got the generator warming up in here for a minute. And then I'll start that, and I guess I'll plug it in. Other than that, yeah, the preheater fails. I guess nothing likes to work at minus 36, eh? The generator is outside and running. Yeah, I feel a little stupid for coming out here. I should have probably went and got a campsite last night, and that would have been a smarter idea. That way I could have at least plugged it in. The preheater works, I guess, for minus 20 and stuff, but yeah, I don't know why. It must have, I'm thinking the fuel has gelled up on it, because it is a very small line, but yeah, it's yeah, really sucks. Anyways, I got the generators warming up the truck right now. I'm slurring my words right now because I'm really cold, but I'm back inside now and where it's warm. So I think my third option would have been to cold start the truck, which it probably would have done it, but I don't really want to put it through that, and yeah, it's not a good thing to do. Or it wouldn't have done it, and then I would have been in a really bad situation. I have to admit, that little generator, I was very reluctant to buy it, but it saved my ass quite a few times actually. So here's to my little generator. And because things seem to happen in threes, so 1, the diesel preheater wouldn't work, 2, the generator wouldn't start, and now 3, the propane is at 50% and I'm losing heat now, so I gotta go switch a tank. Okay, here we go. Well, this morning's been a big frickin' fail. But we learned lots today, didn't we? Like, I'm getting heat off of this, but it's not like nearly as efficient as like it was before. And yeah, like, I guess I shouldn't be too hard on myself. I feel like everyone goes through this when they start doing this out here, and their first minus 40 is always not that great. So I don't know, maybe some people are just a lot smarter about it than me, but as you can see by my attire, the propane lines are basically frozen. So yeah, my heat is like really, really bad right now. I went and tried to start the truck, won't start. It's gonna need a bit longer with the block heater. So yeah, this hasn't been a good day at all. But you know what? It still beats paying $1,600 for a mortgage. It's okay. It's just one day. Now I know better, and I know everything to do now for tomorrow. Actually, tonight's supposed to be even colder, so this should be really interesting. I'm gonna call and book a campsite somewhere and just yeah, have it ready for that. And yeah, I'll just do that for tonight, because it doesn't make sense for, I don't know, like, I could probably go park somewhere, but the whole starting the truck, like, yeah, the truck does not like to start in this, and I don't like to start the truck in this, not unless it's been plugged in or something. So the whole idea of like parking and then starting the generator for 3 hours and everything, it's just, yeah, it's not that great of an idea. It's currently 10 degrees Celsius in here, so we're still in the positives, but yeah, hopefully the propane heater keeps giving off a little bit of heat. I'm like bundled up in some blankets and I got my jacket on. I feel silly. Okay. I just got the burners on. The heater actually completely stopped working, so yeah, now I'm just using this. I know it's not the greatest thing to do, but in this situation, in this situation, it's now minus 37, so I just am going to keep using this until, yeah. It's actually plus 11 in here, so the temperature went up once I started using these. I think the furnace has just barely been lit, so yeah. This is, yeah, this is a shitty situation, not gonna lie, but we'll get through it. Things got worse. The batteries are dead on the truck. I need a boost, so I'm calling someone. So good news! Buddy from work came out and gave me a jump, and that didn't work. So then we went over back to our shop there, grabbed 2 booster packs, came back, and then we jumped it, and it started. That was after 3 hours of being plugged in, and yeah, I think my batteries are basically hooped on this thing. They're probably a good 5 to 7 years old anyways, so I should probably change them. Current temperature update is a nice brisk minus 40 right now. The camper is completely frosted. There's no propane working. I basically, for the last hour, had to turn on the stove and just try to stay warm in there. It actually it got up to 20 degrees in there with just the stove on, but that was only in the bed area. Anything lower than the stove was just ice. I think tonight I was told to either try putting heaters on the tanks, or I'm going to put my diesel heater in. One of the two. I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose yet, or do both maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to find out. What's up, guys? So, I didn't have a great night. Well, I had a good night. I didn't have a good morning. That was the biggest difference. Let's talk about it. But right after, if I lock the camper, because I don't want to drive down the road and that door open. Good news, I'm not a clumsy clunker. I did lock it. So, what happened? We lost propane, we lost the engine preheater, the batteries were done in the truck. Just like anything that had a little bit of failure to it that could happen, it just happened. So what are the solutions? So let's start with the the engine. So my issue with the engine basically came down to the batteries in the truck were probably about, I think the newest one was 8 years old. The guy put in one new one and the other one it wasn't even the right battery, which is, I'm actually mad at myself for not changing that. That's kind of on me. I should have known better. I should have changed it. But yeah, they're changed now and are ready to go. So what else went wrong? We had the heat stopped working in the camper. So there's two ways to go about this. Now, I'm hoping that I don't have to deal with this cold much more after this year. Now, I do have a way to mitigate it though, and I basically went and bought two, they're like oil pan heaters. So you stick those on there. Talking to my friend, and she said her boyfriend said to get something to heat up the propane tanks so it'll be able to vaporize when it gets down to beyond -30. So I got two little block heater things on there. Now, the crappy thing about that is you either have to be hooked up to a generator or you have to be plugged into shore power for it. They don't run off 12 volts. They're 200 watts each. I'm hoping that's actually enough to keep them warm. I don't know, at this point I think it should be, because that little bay there, when I opened it up after, it was pretty warm in there with those going. So it should be pretty okay. What else? So the other way you could go about this is by just putting in a diesel heater. In my case, I don't want to hack up this camper, so I'm not going to do that. But like, if you were to put in a diesel heater, you could probably get away with, I don't know. I don't know how a diesel heater would act in there, because the diesel heater's 12,000 BTUs, like the little Chinese diesel heater I have, and the propane furnace is 18,000. So if I put that in there, I'd be actually losing heat. Well, BTUs for heat. And they both are basically the same thing, just different fuel. So last but not least, the engine preheater. That one caught me off guard. Okay. So you can get those, and they're made by Webasto, same as a normal diesel heater. Well, Webasto diesel heater, same with Espar, they also make them. I had luck with the Chinese ones for the diesel heaters. Well, a little bit of luck, but I'm also really cheap. So Webasto one is about $1,500 of that range. You might be able to get them cheaper. I know people said they got them for like $900 before, but usually you're gonna pay upwards of that for one. The one I got was $300, and I have used it down to about -25-ish, and it's worked great every time. So I had no part of me that was like thinking, oh yeah, it won't work at -35, and then it didn't. So that comes down to, it might have actually just been the batteries, or the pump wasn't pumping fast enough getting the coolant through. Well, it kept showing up on there that it was working as and the temperature of the casing was like over 65 degrees, and that's what it was going off of rather than the coolant. And then it was like shutting off because, oh, it's up to temperature. So I don't know, it was doing some weird stuff, and then it wouldn't shut off, and then it would just keep running the pump. Like, it was like something was up really weird for it, and I don't know. I'm going to test it out tonight, and hopefully it was just the batteries and that's why it wasn't working. I got brand new batteries in here, so that should say a lot for it, but we'll see. So going into this, I think I feel like I was very ill prepared for it. And I had, basically I was thinking to myself with this thing over the last, like, I've been at -20, I was like, oh, this is nothing for it. We're good. We're laughing. But no, -40 is another beast. And I should have realized that. I knew, I mean, when I had a house, it was like, the furnace was always running when it was this cold. Now it's going to be -41 tonight. I have a backup plan if stuff goes wrong, and I am parked somewhere to actually plug in and everything. I like to challenge myself and go to these places and like camp off grid, and oh, I don't need to be plugged in, off grid's better. But like, I gotta admit, like this morning was kind of, it was getting to the point it was borderline scary. And I wasn't sure if the camper was going to stay warm off of just me lighting the, I basically just had the stove going, and that was my only heat source. It kept it very warm inside, I'll give it that. I was very set back with it, and I was like, okay, this is kind of serious, and yeah. So I'm gonna try tonight, we're gonna see how it goes. So that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say about that. And I don't know, I'll let you guys know if things don't go good tonight. I think they're going to be a lot better. I have a plan. If things go bad, at least there's a place I can go inside and warm up while I'm working on something. But I think things are going to be a lot better tonight. I'm a lot more prepared. I have those block heaters on the propane tanks. I'm going to plug that in right away and see if that's going to keep them warm. And if not, I'll figure it out from there. Even if I have to get like a hotel or something for just 3 days, like, still cheaper than rent. So I hope you're all staying warm, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.